With the NFL draft coming to a close this past weekend, I as a Patriots fan want to go back and grade all of our picks. So let's start with round one, where we have Drake Maye. Drake Maye is the quarterback out of UNC. He was going up against Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams for, those top quarterback spots. And I don't think there's any other grade that you can give this pick outside of an A+. You get the second best quarterback on the board at pick 3. Yes, Jaden Daniels was the Heisman winner, but he only really had that one productive season in college, whereas Drake Maye had 2. Both don't have that much experience, but I myself was a Jaden Daniels fan, but I also did like Drake Maye, so it really didn't matter which way you went there. He shouldn't start this year. If we're the Patriots, we should let him sit for a year, just so he can figure out, the NFL game, and we have a good veteran in Jacoby Brissett in front of him, but he has a very high ceiling, like a Justin Herbert type ceiling. As long as we can get the right pieces around him, he could be that Justin Herbert type ceiling, but he also does have a Sam Darnold type of floor, just given his raw ability to play and all that. He does have some footwork issues that need to be worked out, but it's all stuff that can be coached, and with the new coaching staff, I'm confident that that's something we can figure out, as well as having a veteran like Jacoby Brissett in the quarterback room as well. Now we move on to round 2, where we took wide receiver Polk out of Washington. Now, I made it very clear on TikTok and Twitter that I wanted Adonai Mitchell, despite the whole controversy regarding him taking care of his blood sugar and diabetes and all that. So I'm going to give this pick a B-. I just really wanted Adonai Mitchell. I think he was a more talented receiver than Jalen Polk, but there's a couple things to think about here. Jalen Polk was someone who had 1,000 yards next to Rome Odunze, the 9th pick in this draft, and was Michael Penix's second favorite target. He's a decent route runner, has good technique, and can always position himself to get open. Yes, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he still has decent speed that can be used at the NFL level. I don't know. I really just wish we got Adonai Mitchell. I feel like there was more there with Adonai. He's very fast as well. But I was complaining during draft day, but that was just me live reaction. And then after looking into it, it's not bad at all. I was just kind of overreacting. And it's a weapon anyways. It's someone that we can use. He doesn't really drop the ball. He's all right in contested catches. And he tries to run block, but some receivers, he tries his best. He's an active guy on the field. He'll always be there making effort plays as well. I can see myself liking this pick in a couple years, a lot more, but a B-ish grade makes sense for Jalen Polk. Then we move on to round 3 with Caeden Wallace. From what I can tell from scouts and from reading up on reports, Caeden Wallace isn't bad. We do need left tackle depth, however, or just a starting left tackle actually, but he played right tackle all of college. But from reports from the Patriots coaches, they're confident that he can play left tackle right from the start, be a first-year starter. But the fact that he doesn't have experience at that position is a little scary. But, he only did allow 13 pressures on 359 pass blocking snaps. He had a career-high PFF grade last year. He was solid in pass protection in general. Run blocking isn't his biggest strength in the world. I would say that's probably his weakness out of, every skill. But I don't know. I will give this selection another B-, just because of the lack of experience at left tackle. It could have been better. I think he could have went a little later in the draft. Not too much later. Just a little bit. Maybe you could have traded down to get him. So as long as he can figure out this transition to left tackle, I think we could have something there. Then you move to Layden Robinson. This is like a C pick. I feel like we kind of reached on him, and we weren't really in that big of a need at guard. We have Mike Onwenu, who does play tackle, of course, but he does play guard as well. We do have first-round pick Cole Strange, City So. We got guys to start at guard. I get like a depth move. It was the 4th round. You're not really looking for a starter there to begin. So I get it. I think we probably could have gone like center because David Andrews is getting old, but I don't know. The Patriots clearly thought that he was the best available at that pick. He has good power, and at times he has shown a lot, but from what I can hear from everyone is that he is a project type of guard, and it's going to take some real coaching and some real time to get him up to speed with the NFL game and just overall be a decent guard for us. I mean, City So and Cole Strange aren't the best guards in the world, so maybe he'll see some playing time this year. It's really just something that we'll have to wait and see, but I'm going to give this one a C. But then we get to pick 110 in round 4. Wide receiver Javon Baker out of UCF. Now, if you've subscribed to me from my most recent video, you know how I feel about him. A+ grade. The guy is a dog. Yeah, he's not the fastest in the world and can struggle with separation at times. That's why he has so many contested catches. But my God, his route running, his releases are just impeccable. He has pretty good hands minus some concentration drops. If you saw that video, I'm not going to go too in depth on Javon Baker, but I like him a lot. If you want to learn more about Javon, watch this 9-minute video I have on him. That is now the most viewed video on my channel, and thank you guys for all the support on that. It really means a lot. Then we move on to round 6 at pick 180. We took defensive back Marcellas Dial out of South Carolina. I mean, he's like an athletic kind of corner. He might have to move to safety, but I don't know. I would give this one a C. Just a C. I mean, he's not a bad prospect, but again, I feel like there could have been different guys we could have gone with there. I wish we got Quantez Stiggers. Now, he did go before that, then maybe trade up a little bit. I mean, he has like 19 pass breakups over the past 2 years, which is 4th among SEC corners, and it's 79.2 defensive grade for PFF last year. He's not a bad pick by any means, but I feel like there's different areas we could have gone with there. I mean, it's the only defensive player we took. He had a 4.42 40. He's good size, but there's just some things that he needs to work on. But again, he's a 6th round pick, so we're going to give it a C. Joe Milton at pick 193. Sorry, I forgot what pick. What do you want me to say? It's Joe Milton. He has no real like talent outside of his arm. A D. I get taking the flyer because you already took your Drake Maye, your franchise guy. He cannot throw the ball in the intermediate part of the field. He's a deep or nothing guy. Maybe he moves to tight end. I have no real analysis on the Joe Milton pick. I mean, what can I really say about Joe Milton? A D. Bazooka Joe, I guess. Maybe he moves positions. Maybe we just try and coach him and then cut him, or I don't know. It's Joe Milton, guys. I don't think I have to say anything more. And then with our final pick in the draft, we had tight end Jaheim Bell out of Florida State. Now, I didn't know too much about him coming into the draft, but from what I've heard and from what I've seen in highlights and some film after drafting him, I'm going to give this a B+. It seems like a really, really big value at pick 231. He's not the tallest. He's 6'2", but he's great with the ball in his hands. He was one of the top 10 yards after catch tight ends in college last year. I mean, he also takes handoffs as well. He can change the pace in our offense, kind of like, I don't know, like Pop Douglas in a way, obviously, from the tight end spot. He's kind of like what Jonnu Smith was supposed to be for us, or it could be like that. That's like his potential, what Jonnu Smith was supposed to be, in like those 3 games where he actually played well. Besides the point. I don't know. Yeah, B. I would say like it's a, A to B+ range. Personally, it really depends on how he pans out. But at that pick, at that value, you can't really complain with a versatile after the catch, decent contested catching, vertical threat in this Patriots offense, which is struggling. I mean, will he make the 53-man roster? That's something for us to figure out later on. He had 315 yards after the catch. He had a 73.4 PFF grade, which was 13th among FBS tight ends. I mean, can you really complain there? Overall, I'm going to give the Patriots draft class a B+. You found your franchise guy. You got a bunch of offensive weapons and pass protectors. Whether they're the best pass protectors is up for debate. But you got a bunch of weapons with a value tight end, a value wide receiver in Javon Baker, and Jalen Polk as well. Then one defensive back, which is, I guess, an area of depth that we needed because Marcus Jones gets hurt. Christian Gonzalez was hurt last year. Safety, we're running a little low. Outside of Kyle Duggar and Jabril Peppers, of course. I would say a B+ for our draft class. There was definitely prospects I wish we had taken, like Adonai Mitchell at pick 37. I also don't know why we traded down. I think we could have just taken Layden McConkey as well. That was my other guy I wanted. It was between him and Adonai, but then we traded down, which was smart because I believe that's what got us Javon Baker. So in reality, I actually kind of like the fact that we traded down because then we got 2 wide receivers. One, which is one of my favorite wide receivers in the class. Now, is Javon Baker a top 20 receiver in this class? Probably not. Out of the draft, I should say. Could I see him ending up being a decent X receiver for us? 100%. Our number 1 receiver? Probably not, but we'll have to find out. I think he could be a good receiver, so I actually do like that trade down to get Jalen Polk and Javon Baker in later rounds. Then the offensive line, you got to add positions there. While Wallace hasn't played left tackle, we'll figure it out, coach him up, have a whole offseason. He doesn't have to be great his rookie year. I mean, he's a rookie offensive lineman. Switching positions, that's a hard place to be in. Robinson, whatever. Dial, yeah. Overall, besides Joe Milton, I really like this class. I just don't see the point in drafting Joe Milton. I think we could have gone running back there, or maybe a linebacker or something, or an edge rusher. It just seems, I don't know. It just seems useless. But let me know what you guys think about the Patriots draft class down below. I'm giving it a B+. And with all that being said, that is it for me, guys. Thank you for tuning into Fanatic Sports. If you made it this far into the video, come on, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. All support is very much appreciated, helps me out more than you know. Also, follow me on Instagram at FanaticSports25 and on Twitter and TikTok at Fanatic Sports. This is Joe of Fanatic Sports with no football today because this whole video was face cam. Signing off.